Hello everyone, welcome back. Now that we have completed future method and now we have understanding about why we need future method, what are asynchronous apex and what are the limitations of future method as well, it is time for us to look into queueable apex. What is Queueable Epics? Why do we need it? How different it is from future method and what are the different options we have been given by Salesforce on Queueable Epics. But before we jump onto that, first we need to understand why Queueable Apex is needed at the first place. Like to do the asynchronous processing, we already had future method. So why we need Queueable Apex? Okay, so in this short video, we will be looking into the reasons why Queueable Apex was needed at the first place, and then we will slowly move towards understanding future method, syntax of it, and we will write a Queueable Apex and we will execute it in coming videos. So first thing first, why Queueable Apex is needed? Future method gives us option to perform the operations asynchronously in the background, which is the core of any asynchronous processing. But it has its own limitations. Like in future method, the major problem was that we cannot process the list of s object, okay, or we cannot pass a complex data as a parameter to it. So suppose let's say you are doing an API call out. Let's say you have created an account, and then after the creation you need to send that account data to your SAP system. Now because we cannot pass the list of s object, you will not be able to pass that to the different system via the future method. Okay, so that is a problematic thing. Okay, similarly there are a couple of other problems as well. Like once you submit a job, it it is not possible for you to track the progress of it. Like with future method there was no job ID creation. Okay, so without job ID, or you will not have any control over when that job is getting executed. Is it processing or is it completed? You'll be only able to see that when it gets completed, but you cannot track it, you cannot further debug it. Okay, so that is also a problematic thing because you do not get enough control over that particular job. Also sometimes we need an orchestration, or sometimes we need to create a flow where we need to have multiple jobs, one job dependent on the other job, and then that job is dependent on the third job. So we sometimes need a kind of chaining, which was again not possible in the future method. So future method was very good to do a small asynchronous task, but when it comes to create a whole orchestration, or when it comes to create a whole processes in Salesforce, future method only has very limited capability. This can also be understood from the chronology. Future method came into the existence in the early Salesforce days, 2008 2009. Then future method came earlier. Salesforce wanted future method to have very small or very normal features to do something asynchronously as a simple task. They never created it from the point of view of having it solve a complex problem. Okay, but as business application grows, and then as Salesforce grew, there were a lot of integrations happened in between, and then developers started hitting those limitations of Salesforce future method. And then to overcome these, Queueable Apex was introduced around 2015. So it's not like they are not two product of same time period. Okay, they are two different product of two different time period. And yes, Queueable Apex does comes with a lot of features and also the simplicity of future method. Okay, so you can say that it's an advanced version, but still future method has its own use cases to do the mixed DML operation, avoid the mixed DML operation, and also to do the callouts from trigger when you just need to, let's say, send just a status update to the third party system, or very basic generic information to the third party system. We still use future method a lot. It's just that when you need to do something which cannot be done with the future method, try to do it via the Queueable epics. It has additional advantages. It gives you features to pass a complex data type. It gives you feature to track the job or monitor the job. It gives you feature to chain multiple jobs. We will be seeing all those things practically when we start working on the Queueable epics. But to begin with, I wanted to tell you why we actually need Queueable epics. Okay, so yes, it is needed because future method was not good enough in certain scenarios, or future method was not capable enough in certain scenarios, and that is why Queueable epics was introduced around 2015. Okay, now, in coming videos, we'll start looking into what is Queueable Apex. We will see the basic structure of it, and then we will create our first Queueable Apex class and execute it in our next video. Okay, and then further we will go towards understanding the chaining of jobs, monitoring the Queueable Apex and everything in upcoming videos in the same module. I'll meet you in the next video. Thank you, everyone.